Welcome back, everybody, to Season 2, Episode 1 of Fill Ur Cuppa, the Support Together podcast. I am Mrs. O, your host, and I'm joined today by Una Mary.
Hi, everyone.
And wee Gem.
Hello.
Well, ladies, what kind of Christmas did you have? Did you miss
Christmas? Oh, did I?
Did you?
You had a wee break from me. It did me no harm. No, we did actually. It was very strange. We finished on the Thursday and we weren't back to the 8th then. So we had 2 weeks.
Nice wee break, but it was needed.
No, we needed it. No, it was very important.
Definitely was needed, yeah.
And I don't think I had any expectations of Christmas.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. I didn't put this whole big palaver as long as the kids were fed and watered and I had the presents and I suppose healthy. Being healthy and
I certainly wasn't healthy over Christmas.
you weren't.
Poor wee Gem's been unwell.
Still not right.
You might hear a wee cough,
Aha.
a wee splutter from wee Gem, and that's all right.
Bear with me.
She's just trying to cough up all along. But we'll get her seen to if we need to. Won't we?
Aye.
So today's topic, girls, we're starting off in January 2024 with hope. Hope is what us girls in Sport Together provide for our mummies. The pinhole of hope. Enough to get them through.
Yeah.
And I suppose if I think about me, whenever I was unwell, I had lost hope. And all I needed was for somebody just to show me that it was still there.
Yeah.
So if we think about, or we talk about what gives us hope or how we hold on to hope. What do you think?
What gives us hope?
What gives you hope? How do you hold on to hope? Do you want to go back and maybe start off about a time whenever you'd lost hope and how you felt?
It might be easier
And then you can move it forward.
Yeah.
So if you think about a time whenever you lost hope, and it's going to be 3 very different stories. But if where we had lost hope, and then how I suppose we have come through it, that we're still here.
Yeah.
Who wants to start it off?
I don't mind.
Like Gem, where you go?
I suppose the time when I really had lost hope was just after having Patrick. I remember feeling trapped and very vulnerable and didn't see the wood for the trees. And I suppose I knew that very early on. I suppose I crashed very suddenly and, went from a high to very low very quickly. And from having depression before in my life, I knew this was not right and that I needed help. Now, I did have my family around me at that time, and I suppose they gave me a bit of hope that I wasn't on my own. But also, there's a moment that sticks out in my mind is from reaching into Support Together. I had tried to contact Una, and anyway, Una had landed out to my house.
That day she just appeared in your living room.
Yeah, and I'd say that was one of the most pivotal moments of hope in my journey, was somebody coming and listening to me and understanding me. And that day I thought, right, this is going to be the turning point. And it was the turning point for me. Yes, I did all my sports, but Una understood. I was able to guide and support me through, and that wee pinhole slowly got bigger and bigger and bigger.
And is that what I'm getting there? Is that Una understood you, but Una had been there. You had like the lived experience that we always talk about with the mummies, and our mummies would speak to us. Yeah,
how I felt. She was nearly like she was inside me.
Yeah, but it's like some people can say to you, "Oh, sure, it'll be grand. You'll be okay." And you're sitting thinking, you have no idea. But if you have somebody standing in front of you that you know has been through it, or
before that, I was hiding away. I didn't know what to do. I was freeze, scared out of my life.
But what were you scared of, Gemma?
I don't know. At that time, I didn't know. But now, looking back, it was because of my whole journey, which I've talked about before with the IVF and all. And it's no wonder I was feeling like that. But at that time, I didn't understand that.
But you think of your journey with IVF, you really held on to hope. The hope of conceiving, the hope of bringing Podrick.
And I suppose when I gave birth to Podrick, I was like, well, what do I do now?
Yes.
What's going to happen now? Right, I have him. Right. And now even probably overthinking, which I would naturally be. Like, oh, Jesus, right, the next so many years, like, and just that fear crept in very quickly.
So fear kind of came and took away hope. Fear became much bigger and consumed hope. Your hope for your tomorrow, your hope for your next hour, your next... and is it big, do you think that whole hope thing was due to the fact of you grabbed on to hope and you were really, really champion hope, you and Sean, because you're a unit, the two of you went through that.
I am a hopeful person.
Very
naturally.
Much so. Yeah, and we would call you the ray of sunshine. But you were holding on to that and then never sat and thought about...
The other side.
Yeah. That's exactly.
The baby, right. Got the baby. Now what's motherhood going to be like? I hadn't a clue.
You just want,
Because that's the forever, isn't it? That's the other side of...
But I can't give this win back now. Not that I wanted to.
No.
Totally.
You were then left to care, but also you had these feelings of... We talked about in one of the podcasts, and you did talk openly about the fact of everybody saying, oh, you used to be so happy.
And yes, I was happy.
But nobody ever came and turned around and goes, I'm sure you're feeling scared. You're always probably worried of loss. You're waiting or treading on, you know,
and I think
hooks.
Paddy was at, and he still is, in my wee precious bundle. And I suppose I hold on to that, if anything's wrong with him, that wee bit more. You know, especially in the early days with feeding, and I tried breastfeeding, that didn't work out, and, you know, and he wasn't gaining weight, so I took that all on, tenfold. You know, I felt everything that much more.
Like you'd mentioned about myself coming in, and that's because you had contacted into the charity. I suppose what I was just providing for you that time was a space for you to normalise and to be held and heard, to allow yourself to chat through how you're feeling in a non-judgmental manner.
To allow yourself to understand it.
It's okay chatting about it, and somebody had been there to have that listening ear, but you got it. You got me.
I didn't tell you it's going to be grand or
No.
pull yourself together. Or,
no, it's going to be a journey.
You have sitting. I always remember Podrick in the corner in the Moses basket.
Me sitting in the corner.
Oh, and your mother-in-law. I'll always remember going to your house.
But whenever I picture that in my mind, and like a visual, I could see like nearly like a wee glow around you, and that was my wee.
So a person, an understanding can be hope. So often people are going through cancer, you know, the treatment of cancer, and think they're the only one maybe within that journey, and meeting somebody else or can bring hope.
You do think that you're the only person in the world, and you're so lonely.
But I didn't feel alone once you came into my life.
Oh, that's lovely.
You're going to make me cry. No, but you don't realise, I suppose that's where it grew from me, feeling I was on my own, you know, sitting there.
Yeah, and of course I had my family and my husband.
Oh God, yes, totally.
My mummy, my sister, you know, and yes, they were such a great support. But that understanding gave me more hope than anything.
What's your saying, Una? Help me to understand so I can be understood.
Yeah. Once you understand yourself and why you're behaving or why you were withdrawn or why you were reacting, we're able to be understood, because you get when you, it's that connection to self, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you start being able to communicate. So you're able, probably that day you were able then to speak to Sean that night, and you had words linked to
it's getting words,
and
Then he understood that.
Yeah. And there was recently, I was speaking to someone over Christmas, and their partner was going through cancer treatment, and it was very tough for him and for her caring for him. But he actually sought support away from her, somebody who was going through the similar journey. And she says, when he said that at the beginning, she's like, well, I can support you. Why am I not able to help you? But he was able to say, but this person's went through it.
Mm-hmm.
And even some of advice that they're giving to me is helping me move through this. It's giving me hope.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes bringing that understanding to self, it's not about, we shouldn't be taking it personal, like Michael maybe taking it personal, maybe I go and speak to somebody, or we're talking about big stuff here, like that's illnesses often, or losing your job. Mm-hmm. You often will speak to somebody else who's lost their job or has been made redundant or got into debt.
See, they understand what they did so that you have the words or the communication to know what your next step is.
You're able to, exactly.
I suppose sport really give me the chance to flourish. I could be a mother, yes, and enjoy it, but I had to understand me, and sport together give me that opportunity so that I can be a better wife, a better sister, a better parent,
But you worked hard on that.
Yeah.
Hope. Like as I say, it's about, this is the big stuff, because you were carrying so much, before Podrick was born. That was a big journey that you and Sean encountered.
Yeah.
And you were so optimistic.
And I probably brushed it under the carpet for that long during the pregnancy and stuff, and even before it, and
And then just this overflooding of emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I suppose the fact of I didn't go through the IVF process, but how entering the motherhood, parenthood, I don't recall any time within my life. I think I would have been optimistic, trying to look at solutions. And people used to tease me, is it rainbows and
fairies?
And trying. And I'm not silly. I know life is a struggle. I've struggled, but when I entered, you're asking when you felt this is big stuff. Like when I entered motherhood, there's where I found I slipped into feeling hopeless. And why I think I slipped into feeling hopeless is because I felt I lost
control.
Yeah, sense of management. I couldn't control the situation. When Caitlin used to cry, bless her, like that's a trigger now to me, and I know what my trigger is now. And there's where seek first to understand.
And you're supposed to know what they're crying for.
Yeah, but I didn't. And I remember being delivering training to people and saying, there's 6 sort of cries or 7. Just to me, a cry was a bloody cry. When I was doing when I was out delivering parenting classes before I was a parent, a cry was a cry to me. So I was losing that sense of control and that sense of judgment within self. I'm not worthy. I'm not good enough. So then I felt. And that was a heavy load to carry. I'm not a good enough mama. I'm not able to breastfeed the way I'd like to. I'm co-sleeping, and then the guilt of co-sleep. All of this. So I felt hope was being drained out of me. And I became hopeless. Now, that's my biggest time really feeling that. And that was because I think the expectations I placed upon self, the pressure. If I could look back at Una then, and if I could sit Una in front of me now, and change, bring us some of the stuff that I had within me in the younger years of looking at solutions. Una, you're doing the best you can, pet. Caitlin's happy, or allowing, let help in.
Yeah.
I didn't let help in. So who was a judging and who was a talking to?
Yourself.
So who was answering my bloody questions?
Yourself. You were beating yourself up.
So what was what was that going to be? Was that positive or was that negative talk? I was constantly. We talk to the mummies, don't we, about the dark side, and we talk about the 2 shoulders. We have the dark side and we have the bright side. Well, the one we feed the most of when we're down, when we lose, we feel hopeless, is the dark side. So it's a louder voice. So that was a big time in my life that I felt hopeless. And when I felt hopeless, I didn't want to wake up. tomorrow morning, I want to go to sleep.
You wanted it to end.
Yeah. And I remember linking into Lifeline. Like, I won't feel I'm getting a bit emotional here, but it's okay. They were amazing. We do recommend them to people. Because what I give to you, Gemma, is that space. They give me that space for me to go, I don't want to wake up tomorrow. And that person asked me that question. Do you want to die, Una? I goes, no, I love me, baby. But I don't want to feel the way I'm feeling.
You don't want that. You want that pain and the feeling that you have inside you to go away.
Feel hopeless.
But you just didn't understand. You didn't understand and didn't know where or how to get out of that hole.
There's nobody else I've been talking to now. Think about, Karen's turning 18. Like, think about that. That's a long time ago. But I knew to ring, because you could see that coming up quite often, Lifeline. I thought, well, that person's not going to know me. So I did lift that phone, and I remember specifically them asking, Una, do you want to live? I says, I do, but I don't want to live like this.
Yeah.
I just want to go to sleep and slip into something. I don't, not to go to sleep to not exist is because I couldn't. The heaviness of not feeling, the heaviness that hopelessness brings to you, feeling hopeless, not worthy, not good enough. And by me able to talk that through with that person on the phone, I came off that phone and I thought, I actually sat with that and I goes, no, I want to live.
Was your wee weight lifted?
There was, Ciara, there was a weight lifted, and it was the fact of me being able to sit and speak that out to a stranger, which did help. I was a stranger to you, Gemma. Then we're not strangers now, but I was to you then. And I probably couldn't have said that to a family member as close as I am to them because I didn't have the words. But that person on the other end of that phone ended up turning around and asking me that question. Una, are you suicidal? Una, do you want to end your life? Because I didn't want to end my life, but I wanted to end the pain. Of feeling hopeless. And that got me straight away, by me able to speak that out, got me then to go, I want to live. So how can I live? Where can I get hope? So that was my pinhole at that time.
And that was, and I'm going to bring this back here, girls, that was the start of Support Together.
That was the start of...
So how did it feel, Una Mary Leonard, to be sitting here with two ladies, that you were that, to us, you were that woman in Lifeline? You were our Lifeline. No cursing. New Year's resolution, no cursing.
More cursing.
But that's what it is. And that's what the charity does. We provide the pinhole of hope.
Well, that's why the sunflower and the seed of hope we talk so
for
much
the
about
mummies.
planting the seeds of hope, and that seed is a pinhole, isn't it?
Yeah.
But when
you want to get that wee bit bigger over time.
So what you need is to nurture that and look after that and see that you're worthy of your tomorrow, your next minute. So what I probably did then was connecting with Michael, my husband, and let him know how I was feeling. And let him help me, allow support in, so then I could move to my tomorrow. And I was worn down. I was exhausted by thinking negative all the time, that I wasn't good enough. And like as I said, you ladies, like you're leading on up there. I had Caitlin very late on in life. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't you just keep reminding me.
Wasn't as fresh as us.
Not as fresh as you ladies. But so, and I did encounter situations in my life that were very overwhelming, but I never lost hope.
But that woman in that phone understood.
Yeah, but what I'm probably trying to say is a lot of us, and probably a lot of people who link in with Support Together often tune in, will understand this because you're living your life, you're a student, you're doing this, you're doing that, but and life's on, and the next that you become a parent,
and then you're stopped in your tracks.
You're like, and why am I fit? And my God, what's going on here? And now you have this life to care for. And I think it's often the expectation on how hard we are on self, and that we run and complete bloody empty. I ran on empty, so there's where my hopelessness came from. I was just, I just want to sleep. But yes, what I'm trying, back to where I suppose my learning was exactly is speaking to that person on that phone and them saying, them not judging me.
Having that honest conversation, that person having, I suppose, the guts.
The courage to ask you,
yeah, the
do you
balls
want
to
to end your
ask.
life?
Yeah.
But that's because that person's trained.
Yeah.
That's come from something else. That's evidence. And we would do that with mummies. We ask that question, and they often get them to think. And there's where, I suppose that was the first seed planted with me. And you're right, there was Support Together and the learnings from that we take on board. But we hope we give pinhole of hope. But I had to take that hope, folks. That hope.
This is Fill Ur Cuppa, the Support Together podcast, and we couldn't bring the podcast to you today without the support of Moody Activewear. Moody Activewear creates high quality, functional activewear so that you can feel good doing the things you love. They don't just support your ass, they support your head as well, as they donate 100% of their profits to support women's mental health, such as Support Together. Visit moodyactivewear.co.uk.
I had to work on that hope.
Aye.
That's what I'm probably trying to say.
You, that hope was yours. You had a pinhole, but it was up to you to make that pinhole bigger. And
you didn't want to stay in the story.
Yeah.
You wanted that story to get better.
And I had no teachings, none of all that we're able to provide now for mummies. Everything we provide is all lived experience. So there's earlier on there, Gemma was speaking, like I really felt for Gemma because we were so present then. And then when I'm speaking about myself and I get emotional, and I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not a nice crier. I look awful. So I apologise for the noise that I've made down this mic. You know, if it was a silent crier, it would be more, I don't know, it wouldn't be so sore in their ears, but I'm not sorry for showing my emotion because that is real.
You have to.
That is so real. But I'm not staying there.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not. But often when I feel I could go to that stage, I don't know what's around the corner for me, but I hope some of the learnings that I've taken and the people I surround myself when I ever feel hopeless again, that the people around me or the learnings that I have from life maybe will help me.
Oh, 100%. Because I think that there's probably one of my biggest things coming through my journey is that I know now that there is going to be times there's going to be tough days and you think, oh, fuck. But you can draw upon what you've learned and I can sit where I wouldn't have before. I would have run. I can sit with it and say, where is this coming from? What?
It's like me this morning.
Yeah, where's the bear poking here? What does that mean? Right, okay, Ciara, so that's that. You're thinking, God, something wrong with me, I'm not sure what it is. In the back of your head, you know what it is, but you don't want to go there. Sometimes you have to sit down and poke that bear and get that out because the weight is lifted and it's sharing a conversation and it's turning around. Again, I know I always say to Eamon, not having a good day today. Sometimes that's enough for that wee bit of hope because before you don't admit you weren't having a good day. You plough on, you have to get on with it. Don't let nobody else know that you're struggling. No. Asking for help.
And exactly, we talked about probably through the podcast before, if you were sitting there with a bottle of, we'll bring it out to mummies, a bottle of Coke or a bottle of Diet, whatever brand we want to go with, and your emotions come and you shake that, and you see the fizz. But when you speaking to Eamon or linking in with someone or whatever that may, or sitting with that feeling and allowing that feeling to have a voice, and then moving through that, you're letting this out. But if you keep feeling these feelings and you're shaking that bottle and shaking that bottle and there's where it becomes massive. And I know I probably wouldn't have felt, I don't think I would have felt that hopelessness so heavy if I didn't let this because it went just do you know what I mean? As you saying, you're talking to him and you sit with your emotion, you allow your emotion to have a voice.
Yeah, but for a long time I wouldn't have. For a long time that voice would have been, if you think about the layers and the blocks you'd have put on top of it, and you would have, oh shit, my stomach doesn't feel good today, or you hear something or something triggers you and you're like, oh fuck, what's that mean? And you're like, oh, I know what that is, and I can't deal with that here today, and away you go run down the road. That's no good.
Because you've seen it, and we love quotes, don't we?
Yep.
And you came up, you seen a lovely quote a couple of weeks ago, something that really embeds with us, and we've actually put it on Facebook, and we speak to mummies. Like, if you don't make time for your wellness, so wellness is often your emotions, some of your emotions, you'll definitely be forced
to make time for your illness.
Because you're not able to do anything else.
No.
So, hope, like when we were younger, probably, like we had a hope that maybe we were able to court such and such, or he's going to pick me up for a date and then doesn't turn up. You think, oh God, right, that's, you know, you'd be sad about that. But you eventually move through it, don't you?
Hope for another date with somebody else.
Somebody's going to take me out for a meal or a night out. Or a hope would be, you know, for a job. Got a hope to get that job, and you don't get the job. Well, does not feel a letdown.
Yeah.
You know.
And that's natural.
Yeah. So within life we do lose, but it's that big.
When it's
you feel hopeless.
Hopeless.
That's when I feel your energy in your life is sucked, taken away from you. And like you're starting, like Gemma said there earlier on, that she felt something this morning. Do you want to share that with us,
we
Gemma?
were chatting about the podcast, and I was like, I don't know whether I could talk about hope this morning. Because I just feel blah. But I know...
You know what's causing
I know
the
what it
blip.
is. Because I've been sick since friggin' the 30th of November. Fucking the fourth antibiotic, inhalers, and fucking steroids, the whole shebang. And Jesus Christ, just drained. House is upside down because I fucking haven't been fit to clean and stuff like that. And I just... But I know what that is.
You know what the blip is.
It's not that I've lost hope, it's just...
You understand it.
I'm feeling, look, I'm allowing myself to be... Blech. That's a word.
I think this morning when you were able to talk that through and you were emotional
and I've gone through things over Christmas and things.
But Christmas is a tough time. Christmas is not happy.
You didn't have hope, is it you didn't have the energy to
even
come to the podcast?
Drained.
What can I bring to the podcast? I don't think I can bring anything to the podcast.
It can't be my usual chirp yourself.
We are.
Well.
But that's what we said.
we talked. Yeah, we talked through it.
Come along and whatever may be, you have a choice. You don't have to speak today.
Yeah, or cough or splutter.
She hasn't coughed or spluttered. You might have heard her taking a little wee sucky, have a wee sweet.
She hasn't been buying the chair either.
But but hope is something that's constantly coming back to us at the charity. You know, fathers telling us that you've given our family hope. Mothers, like some of the messages we received before Christmas.
Oh, it was amazing. But girls, what I always said was whenever I got better, was that if all I ever do, if sharing your story or speaking out is breaking down the stigma of mental health, but if all you do is give a wee tiny pinhole of hope to one mummy, I was once that mummy that needed the pinhole of hope. I was the mummy sitting there thinking, I don't want to wake up tomorrow morning. How can this end? And for me, the only end was driving in front of a lorry. That was going to be the end. But I just needed somebody to give me that wee bit of hope. So that's what we were. The pink, we're bright, we're there. The mummy sees us. The mummy sees us on our good days. The mummy sees us whenever, like I was off yesterday because Orla was sick. I have a family. Everybody has their trials and tribulations and going through it. But we show the mummies and we show the families that we're working with that there's life after it.
So that's where we're so passionate about when we talk to mummies about our 4 C's.
Yeah.
You know, the communication, to connect to your feelings.
Yeah.
Then you're able to communicate that.
Nobody's ever going to be 100% all the time.
No.
It's not reality.
Because we're not robots.
Yeah.
Jesus, that'd be a boring word, wouldn't it?
Aye.
We're all programmed to be
I am
the same.
a robot.
We're all programmed to be the same.
Yeah.
So we're programmed to feel. But we do know and we do encounter, most likely daily, ladies, people who feel they've lost hope. And if they feel they're able to talk about that, often they come up with the answers.
You have the answers are there within yourself. But if all we're doing is being a soundboard, a listening ear, so that, and often it is just sitting down and have a conversation with a cup of tea on the sofas in the S2 hub and letting a mummy talk, listening to them, the answers come out herself. And I remember having conversations with Una and having the light bulb moments and thinking, holy fuck, that's been there the whole time, I didn't know it. You have the answers. And if you're given the space and you're allowed the safe space and the understanding to speak it out, you get the answers yourself.
That safe space isn't in your head.
No.
That safe space often isn't your best friend or your partner or your mummy or your sister or your brother. Sometimes we have to reach outside.
Yeah, as you said, that lady you spoke to on the phone, like I know that I would have a safe space with my doctor because that's where I go when I know where I can be Ciara. I can speak. I don't go unless I have like a list length of my arm to tell her what's wrong. And I usually end up in maybe half an hour, but I think she knows that now too, but anyway, when she goes in and I'm able just to empty it out, and then she's like, right, okay, we'll start, tick, 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 tick. But the stuff that I've told her, I've told you that I would never, ever, ever dream of telling my mother or my sister or my husband, because you fear of being judged. You fear of what they're going to think of me, what are they going to think. But we are that hope girls that people can come to. And we don't judge because we've been there, we've done that, we've
walked the walk.
The mummies that we find when we're working with, so I'm sitting with two mummies of support together, you know, yourselves, ladies, you very much worked on your hope.
Yeah.
You know, support together, or me coming out to see you, Ciara, and speaking to you, Gemma, that was that pinhole, and then you was meeting other mummies.
I had a bit to work in.
You put work into that. You know, and it's something we often would find, ladies, and I suppose we're leading to this conversation, is often we find a lot of people stay in the pool of shit.
Big brown pool of poo.
And they, you know, as you're going into it, you realise the toxins, you realise it's uncomfortable, you realise it's not pleasant, there's a smell or whatever. But you end up becoming very complacent and start getting used to that.
Funny, I was chatting to you earlier about a boy, like not a boy, he's an old boy, but I follow him on social media, and the other day he was on about the frontal part of your brain, and what you tell your brain is what you will be. So if you keep telling your brain, oh, I'm useless, I'm this and that and other, you're going to start to be like that and start behaving that way. But I suppose with me too, I would have been very hopeful. Right, I am hopeful and that starts to drip, 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 and you start believing in yourself again.
And that's the language, isn't it? It's that more nurturing, that more gentle.
It's the way you speak to yourself.
Yeah. Because I wasn't gentle to me when I started feeling really hopeless. I was
useless.
The language I used to me was not pleasant. You would never say it to anybody else. So no wonder.
Well, we should be saying
the negativity.
I'm trying my best. I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm safe. That I had that motto for a long time whenever I was going through my journey. I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm safe.
And it isn't that there's no point, you know, and Christmas can often, you know, this season now that we're going into, you know, we're in January, and you even shared with us this morning, and we said we'd mention it in the podcast, that, you know, get you to think of a lot of loss, you know, people you've lost, and Christmas isn't cheerful and jolly, and it's not freaking magical, you know, because a lot of us think it's this fantasy that all these TV, all this, you have to work on it.
Yeah, we make the memories. You have to grab the moments.
Yeah, like, but it's sore on people.
Yeah,
you know,
it definitely is.
It is sore. It's a sore season.
Yeah, and I remember sitting on Boxing Day, coughing and spluttering my lungs up, right? Patrick's lunch, I hadn't got dressed, he hadn't got dressed. Line up, and he sat on the armchair with me, and we watched Willy Wonka, the old one. And it was the most magical time over Christmas. Just that 1 or 2 hours.
So what was that? What was that
just
magic, Gemma?
Me and Patrick connecting. And Sean was there too, and we were all watching it.
And it was just being together.
Not trying to fix anything. Yeah. We were just
rushing. Just being.
Just being.
That's lovely, isn't it? We should practice more just being, shouldn't we?
It gives me the warm fuzzy.
That brings us really lovely on to how did you fill your cuppa over the last couple of weeks?
That's how I filled mine.
She's wrecking the shop here.
Sorry. I'm not banging chairs, so it's all right.
Did you kick the table? We know how Gemma filled her cuppa. She was sitting and watching movies on the armchair with me.
Spent most of my time in my jammies, to be honest.
Same here.
And do you feel guilty about that?
I needed it.
You needed
Yeah.
it.
I needed that.
Yeah, you needed it.
How is your cuppa filled?
No, I think a bit like Gemma, slowing the pace down a wee bit, and just a lot, exactly, just being. Do you know, I wasn't about many places. I didn't rush about, and I wasn't even out. I think that last night we were out was probably enough. But I didn't. I was gentle on myself. I was. And I allowed myself to have a bit of laughter. You know, even me and Michael sitting watching Netflix and doing stuff like that and putting the fire on and just being.
Yeah.
I definitely, and like, you know, I love tarting the house up or whatever like that, and eventually I got a tree up. I think it was the day before Christmas.
No, she still has it up because she doesn't want to get down.
Oh, that's fine now, yeah, eventually. But you know, even Ponthern and Podrick, I allowed Podrick to decorate the tree because I am not very great at letting others do it in the house because I love, you know what I'm like, girls. And then he just loved that, and I got something out of him just grabbing them wee moments rather than becoming a big block. And
from what I've heard for the last couple of days, just when we've been back together again after Christmas holidays, I think there was a lot of reminiscing done over the Christmas with you, was there, Una?
I know like, we had a death over Christmas and stuff, and it does often get you reflecting and talking about memories when we're young and stuff like that, you know, and it does, and gives you sometimes that wee warm fuzzy.
It's nice, yeah.
You seek that, you weren't looking for the negative stuff, you were looking for them magical, nice memories that you had of a person. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's lovely though.
What about you, Ciara?
I think there's a theme going, girls, where I just slowed down the pace. The pressure was off. And I was at home in my pajamas, and again didn't go very far out to the bin. I'm back in again. Out to the shop.
You had a date with the bin?
In and out. Hey, the amount of rubbish over Christmas. But in and out to the bin, maybe out to the shop a couple of times. I didn't put the pressure on myself and on the house. The Waynes didn't want to go anywhere. Every day. Well, I didn't have to ask every day because after a couple of days, I was like, you know what, they don't want to do anything. So every morning it was like, are we going nowhere today? And I'm like, no, like Christmas Day. And they're like, oh, yes. So we're at home all day. And I go, no, yeah, I still have to get up, wash and dress and brush teeth. I don't want to get dressed. Right, well, change your pajamas. Okay, no bother. So that's what we did. And I was led by them, and they wanted to stay at home and lie about and do a little. Most days I had a wee nap during the day. I took myself up. You wouldn't get peace downstairs.
Gym nap.
You wouldn't get peace downstairs because you're guaranteed that there'll be a door left open or there'll be a dog on top of you. So I was like, I'm way upstairs. And I would have slept a couple hours now every day, and it was great because I might have slept well that night, but then we were binge watching whatever was on TV, so it was okay. Taking the lie-ons when I was able to get them, and letting if the floors weren't brushed every day or twice a day, that's fine.
I'm not being led by the clock.
No, didn't have a clue what day of the week it was.
I was ready to go back.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, listen, you know, everybody in the house, and there's only so long. I allow myself to lie about, but there's only so long because it's not good for you.
Oh, yeah, because even like
many weeks.
the 1st of January came and went, but you were...
You go, I couldn't be bothered anymore. I'm getting sluggish.
Yeah, you needed to get back into it. But no, it was lovely to have that wee slow down. We would took her down the gears a bit, and
not being hard on ourselves.
Yeah.
And watching them moments of them eating their dinner or opening their presents.
My wheels really enjoyed it this year, and Enda was asking me every day, we haven't that the big dinner, Mummy, when are you making the big dinner? I'm like, we're doing
because you didn't have it last year.
No, because last year everybody was sick, there was no dinner made in my house. So they were really excited. I make dinner every Sunday. Well, I make dinner every day, but we could have roast dinner every Sunday. But they were so excited for this big dinner that was coming, and they got slur, and they fucking loved the slur.
You never had a bit of shallur at all. Not even one bottle in the house.
But you weren't yourself, Pat, and that's and just be gentle on you in this next couple of weeks because you're.
It's still in the shop. Like we'll get you a couple of bottles if you need it.
Aye, well, you did something before you left the office.
I know.
There was plenty going with the mummies and stuff.
Wee cheese boards. But that's it. Girls.
Talking about cheese.
Cheese.
I thought it was your feet. We tell you a joke.
Go on, we have to keep this going.
I know. And I do have a new joke book, girls, but it's at home. But I'm okay.
Week.
Yeah, I'll have it next week. Which bear is the most condescending?
Don't know.
A panda.
Duh.
Duh.
Oh, I used to say that a lot. Duh.
I know.
We patronising.
What's brown and sticky?
Stick.
Of course she'd have to get it, wouldn't she? Two guys walked into a bar. The third guy ducked.